Hello, ladies. Today in 5 Minute Faith, we're still in Psalm 37 and we're doing verses 5 and 6. Commit everything you do to the Lord, trust Him, and He will help you. He will make your innocence radiate like the dawn, and the justice of your cause will shine like the noonday sun. Now, this is an issue that I've had a lot of trouble with. It's always been something that I've really struggled to respond to in a godly way when someone accuses me of something that I think is untrue or even partly untrue. And to this day, this is a verse that God always reminds me of whenever something's going on. It could be as simple as an argument at home with my son, or it could be something really big. I mean, you guys watched, or a lot of you watched, the reason maybe even you found my channel was because of conversations I was having online back in February and March. And there was a lot of things said about me during that time that were patently false. And it's to God's honor that sometimes my concern was for His name in that. It's to my, not my condemnation. There were very, very human moments in that for me, and where I desperately wanted to just burn any falsehood or any accusation down that wasn't true or was partly untrue. And it was a real struggle because I knew that there was a role to play, to honor God, to follow the Spirit through that, to follow His Word through that, and a way to react when situations like this came up. And this was one of the verses that He gave me, especially in those last days where there were a lot of things being thrown at me. He says, commit everything you do to the Lord, trust Him, and He will help you. He will make your innocence radiate like the dawn, and the justice of your cause will shine like the noonday sun. So committing everything to Him early in that situation wasn't difficult. I didn't even want to be in that situation. So I walked into it purely because of commitment to Him. So I knew that we had that covered. Trusting Him in it is hard. It's an act of faith. So when things start going wrong or being difficult, or people are accusing, or people are angry, or anything like that, there's a lot of having to simply keep my mouth shut and trust God to handle it. That is not an easy situation for me. Whether it's an online conversation, or in my family, or with a friend, or in any situation where someone is being hard, I struggle. It is a fight to sit and trust God to deal with it and not try to fix it myself. And I'm sure any of you who watched that closely, there were moments you would have seen me jumping into comments or defending myself. Some of that I think was led by God. There were other times that if I could go back, I would do those things differently. But one thing He did press on me in that was, don't try to hide this. Where you feel like you've been human in it, don't try to hide it. Don't delete the comments. Don't I give people still want the link to those videos. I still give it out. The comments are still there. This is an ongoing thing, but it has settled down. And one of the things I can say, 2 months down the road, there are still people in this world who think that I had very selfish or very worldly intentions in that situation. And I can hand on heart with a clear conscience tell you that that was not the case. However, I definitely have very human reactions to things, and I spent, I'm going to say 2 or 3 weeks after all of that was done, spending time in prayer every single day for God to help me not try to defend myself in that situation. And these were the verses, one of the verses that he gave me. And my complaint to him was that he wasn't, it's not like he's walking into the room and visibly manifesting and chastising people and saying that wasn't in her heart, what you're accusing her of is false. You know, he's not necessarily, although there are some people who have listened to him and come to that conclusion, there's plenty more who haven't. And I had to go through a process of releasing myself, my reputation, my ministry, everything into his hands,